Well, what's going on, guys? So today we're gonna work on the Chevelle. It's kind of like mellow yellow out here, but we got a couple headlights for it, box of oil and filter, got a set of spark plugs. In the garage I got a good cap and rotor, and I don't know if I can just use these plug wires. I don't know, they're kind of super long, but yeah, I'm gonna I'll jack this sucker up, kind of show you how to do that, pull the drain plug, and we'll go from there. All right, guys. So I just jacked the car up. I just wanted to touch base real quick. There's stuff I see on the internet all the time. It just drives me nuts when people use a small jack to lift something up with piles of blocks of wood and stuff like that, and then they balance it. Either they work with the car on the floor jack, or they put blocks of wood or cinder blocks. I mean, just spend the money and buy a set of jack stands. These are my crap jack stands. The good ones are in the garage, the 55s on it. And I mean, lift it properly. The other thing I always do, just when you're lifting it, I slapped a block of wood on the rear tire just in case, and then give it a real good shake. You know, if it's not coming down there, you'll be fine. Spend the extra few seconds to do it properly, because having a car fall on you, I assume, probably doesn't feel that good. Oil's in. Just put the cap back on. Oil changes are one of those things that are really easy, but if you do them wrong, they're very bad. So plug and filter, make sure they're tight, make sure the oil goes in. That's that. Next thing we're working on, got a new set of spark plugs. Pretty simple. Yep, take them out. So that's all I did, ratchet stuff. You know, I keep forgetting, I always work on hot rod stuff with headers and all that. It's so easy to do maintenance on a stock manifold car. So pull those out, make sure the new ones have somewhat of a proper gap in them. Throw them back in, and that's the end of it. All right, so here we go. All the new spark plugs are in. I pulled the cap. The rotor looks pretty wore out. The cap's all kind of junky and stuff. I have a known good rotor off something. This is actually a brand new cap, which I don't know why I didn't use. I think it's because it was a pain to take the plug wires off with this stupid top on. So I'll take this apart and kind of show you the difference and start putting it together. I also found another set of good to me spark plug wires that all have the same ends, which will fit really nicely around here, and they won't be ridiculously long. And actually, some of these I was going through, some of them were kind of half gnawed through and stuff. This thing has a bit of a kind of rough kind of idle. It feels kind of ignition-y. So yeah, a new cap, rotor, plugs, and a set of wires. I'm sure it'll be completely mint. So I pulled the rotor out. This is the old one. I don't know if it'll show up in camera or not, but the little tip, it's worn down to a nub, and it's all kind of rough and corroded and stuff, and that's the new one, so it's quite a bit longer. And this is a new cap, so it's got a little bit of wear on because it did go in the car for a bit, but it's pretty minty. So I'll put that back together, switch all the plug wires onto this new cap. So you need to do it one at a time, just kind of work your way around so you don't get lost, and kind of get all the plugs where they want, or just Google what the firing order is and it's mint. So here's what I've done. I put the rotor on, the cap on, so it's all screwed down where it's going to be. The next thing I'm going to do is, like I said, just change the plug wires one at a time. That way, because this was working, you can't really have an issue. So on this side, I loaded all the plug wires, longest to shortest. So you start with the longest one, because number 1 and 2 on the other side are going to be the long ones. So just unplug this one, plug this one in, close to. So that's that. Now this one you can kind of follow all the way around, and it's going to be that one right there, which corresponds to this one right there. So there you go. So I'm just going to do that 8 more times, and then strap them all together, make it look pretty. All right, guys, so drop the car down. Pretty simple. I ended up you know, making some little looms and all that. That was all good. Put the air filter back on. So I mean, it's pretty much ready to go. While I was at the front here, I was going to change the headlights. I already changed one, and I figured I'd show you how to do the other one. So GM headlights are real simple. So low beam and high beam, when the high beam goes on, they actually both go on. So that's my new one right there. So pretty simple stuff here. Trying to do it in one take. So you just got to take off these 2 screws here for the trim ring. case that's off, I'll kind of show you. So this ring that goes the whole way around is to hold the headlight in. Now you don't want to get the mount screws confused with the adjusters. The adjusters are quite a bit bigger. I'm sure it's gonna be hard to see, but you'll be able to see them. There's just tiny little screws. So there's 3 of them holding it on. I usually just take off 2 and you kind of bend the other one over and pop the headlight out. You don't want to lose these screws because they're small. So you can kind of see what I'm talking about. There's just one that holds it in. These big ones there are the mounting ones, and then just these little screws go in there. New headlight. Now when you look at a headlight, I don't know if it'll show up, but it says, this one says Phillips. So obviously that's the way it goes. On the back there's little embossed areas and they fit in the headlight bucket. So you just kind of sneak it in, put the connector on. Set the headlight in its little thing so you can't move it. Oops. Just like that. Put that around. There you go, it's just that simple. So whether it's 4 lights, 2 lights, if it's a sealed beam like this, they all work pretty much the same. Alright, let's do this thing run. So after you do an oil change, you want to just kind of crank it over, start it up, let it idle. You don't want to go too crazy revving it, let the oil pressure build. So that's that. This thing just has a little dummy light for oil and it's off, so I assume there's oil pressure and we're all good. So now all the new parts are on. Just double check your oil level. Yeah, I ordered a new heater core because this one is obviously looped, so I'm assuming it's mangled. So I ordered one of those. It should be here tomorrow. I think the next thing I'm going to do tonight is fix up this fender, and by fix it up I mean I'm literally just going to cut this to fit and weld it right to it, then just primer it so it looks like it's not this big hole in the fender. I'll get a little looking at it, see how much it bothers me, but yeah, car's coming together in a hurry. So you guys, again, let me know what you think. I'm just kind of doing the tune-up and all that stuff. Let me know what you think. Should I lower it, big wheels, do whatever? You know, fix it up properly, just make it a beater. Whatever. I'm kind of open to anything. Now, obviously, I got no money. But, hey, more viewers, more subscribers. Spend all the dollars I make on this thing. All right, so I got under the hood done. So now I'm going to kind of tackle this thing. This fender is rotted, I mean, quite a bit up. All the structure is wasted. It came with this, which is more fiberglass than it is anything else, but I mean ultimately it has the shape, so it's kind of fit it in there, mark a little line across, cut some of that metal out, and just kind of tack weld this on. I mean, this is even full of filler as it is, but at least it's better metal than no metal. And I mean, do it, kind of primer it, it'll be what it is, and then down the road, I mean, I gotta find a set of fenders. The front's all rotted. You actually can't buy these front pieces where the marker lights are and everything, so that's a bit of a pain in the ass. So I either have to put on something from like another fender, a used fender, and then chop the lines in or do something. I don't have any marker lights, so I don't know. For the time being, I'm gonna focus on this. I'll get it traced out and chopped up. So there's the piece cut out. I went right along just at the very top of the rust, so I mean it's pretty much finished. I'll just put you guys right here. So I'll just kind of slide this around. This is just freestanding. Get it up there as close as I can. And just kind of butt weld it in place. Obviously I'll get a little closer, but that's that. A few little tack welds around the side. I'll do something underneath because it's all rotted out there. I'll have to figure some way to support it. So yeah, it's coming around. There we go, guys. Light's kind of fading, but it is what it is. Just weld it in real quick. I'm just gonna hit it with the flap disc real quick and then primer it. I kind of love this Ratty muscle car looking thing. It's pretty easy. So there we go, guys. It's a rough repair, but there's no more rust in it. Just a pile of fiberglass. Yeah, that's it. I think that's it for me. The sun's gone down. And I gotta clean up a little bit because I'm driving this thing to work again. So let me know what you think of the car, what I should do with it. Like, comment, subscribe, all those good things, and I'm sure we'll have lots of adventures in this thing.